Dear friends, today we are having an interview with Betty Erikson in Moscow for All Russian Festival of NLP. Betty, we are so glad to see you here.
Thank you.
How long have you been studying hypnosis? When did it start?
I'm laughing because my whole life I've been involved in it. Daddy used me as a subject for his patients and students from the time I was 10 years old until he died. So, and that was formal trance. But my whole life I've been involved with it.
How was it to be a child of so famous father?
I didn't know he was famous. So it was just fine because he was just Daddy, which is a really big gift.
And when did you start to conduct your own trainings?
This is my second career. I was a teacher, I was a special ed teacher, and then I wanted to change careers, and I thought, what do I really like? I like teaching, and I like seeing change. And this was a very good entry into that, and my name helped me. But if you can't produce, your name doesn't help you.
And how did it happen? You were a teacher, and when you started to conduct trainings, what happened?
First I went and got my master's degree in counseling, and then I had no shame. Anybody who was conducting, anybody who was attending a workshop that I went to, I'd go up and I'd ask them, do you want me to do a workshop for you? And enough people took advantage of it. But I still do that if it's an interesting place, because I love to travel.
In which countries have you been?
Oh, all over Europe, in mostly Brazil, in Central America, in Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Ukraine, and let's see where else. Nepal, Nepal and Bali, and Japan and China. I've been a lot of places.
From the point of view of hypnosis, are there any differences in hypnosis from people from different nationalities?
From different
nationalities. Are there any differences in the point of view of hypnosis?
Not from the point of view of hypnosis that I have seen, because people generally are all alike. The difference is in how eager people are to learn.
And where in the world the people is the most interested in hypnosis?
I'm telling you the truth, in Russia and the formerly Russian countries, and China.
Why?
I think in Russia, because for many years they didn't have access to a lot of training, and then they got access and they were like starved for it, and they have kept that marvelous ability to be really eager for information. That's what I think about that.
How do you think, is it possible, is it useful for people to meet, to share knowledge? We are making All Russian Festival of NLP, and our aim to make NLP people to get together, to share their new models. Is it useful for society?
I think it is useful. I don't think it is as useful as it could be, because people are kind of stuck in their habitual ways. But if you don't share knowledge, I mean, everybody gets insular and nobody knows what's going on.
Sometimes when a trainer lives in a very small town and he or she is famous in his small town, and they say it's enough for me, why should I go anywhere, why should I see other people?
That's what I mean by people get stuck in their own patterns. And as long as you're stuck in your own pattern, you miss learning. And actually, one of the things that that's one of the many things that I really, really like, is learning is the only instantly renewable pleasure in life. Because you think about it, you eat, you can't eat another meal for a while, but you learn, and as long as you have your mind, you can learn the next second. And learning is fun.
And what do you think about John Grinder and Richard Bandler work with modeling of NLP?
I was on the first film that John and Richard ever made with Betty. They came to the office and I was home visiting, and I'm on the very first film that they made. I think they were both extremely intelligent men, and I remember John more clearly because he made an effort to talk to me, not just regard me as a demonstration subject. But I don't know enough about their work, not the people who have followed them, but their work, to really really say anything about what I think about their work. The only thing that I will say is that I think they made Daddy's work too complicated.
So you think it's more easier, more clear when they have made it?
I think that it's multi-level. So the top layer is of course very simple. And then there's another layer, and another layer, and another layer. And if you make, in my opinion, if you make the top level very, very complex, people get stuck. And they get kind of stopped right there, rather than discovering the true multi-level genius of Daddy's work. And I believe that has happened, but I'm not really an expert on John and Richard's work.
Have you used hypnosis in your ordinary life, in your personal life?
Absolutely.
And how did you use it?
Oh gosh. I use it when I'm seeing my own clients. I have records, but I don't check them. So when you come in my office, like after 15 years or 10 years, I can go in a trance, but you don't know I'm in a trance. And I can even tell you some of the conversations that we had 10 years ago, because that's a use of trance. I use trance when I want to rehearse something that I want to make sure I get right. I use it for pain management. I use it for dealing with uncomfortable situations. It's just incredibly useful.
Sometimes people don't believe that the hypnosis exists, that it's useful.
Okay.
What can you say to such people?
I don't know what to say, because first of all, there's literature that proves it exists. My brain waves are different, that proves it's valuable, that proves it does all kinds of things. So they're not going to listen to me if they're going to object to or not believe scientific information.
sometimes people want somebody to tell them that this is useful.
This is useful. Thank you.
And how people can use hypnosis? What is the better way to start learning? How can you recommend? Sometimes people ask, maybe it's a good idea to go to a shop to buy one simple book to read it.
I think you should, okay, this is what I really think, that you should learn everything you can learn from books, from workshops. You should learn every technique and become an expert in all techniques. Then when you know techniques of hypnosis really well, then you can kind of forget the techniques and do what I think is infinitely more important, and that's connect with people. And that is what I think, I believe, Daddy was such a strong suit to be connected with people. I edited a book on Daddy, along with Brad Keeney, on Daddy as an American healer who used words instead of mirrors and smoke and stuff like that. And there's 24 of his friends and colleagues, and I told them, write about how being with Daddy affected you. And they'd say, well, tell me more. No, write about how being with Daddy affected you. And almost every one of them said, in varying levels of sophistication, he made me know I could. Now, what a gift. And that's the connection. To let you know you can. That's wonderful.
And how many patients did your father have?
Over his lifetime?
Yes, yes. Maybe 1,000, 10,000.
Well, he worked in mental hospitals for the first part of his life. Do they count? Because he was director of psychiatric services in several hospitals, including Worcester, Massachusetts, and Eloise, Michigan, and in Arizona State Hospital. Now, how do you measure, all of those people? And then he had a very busy practice, and then he taught hypnosis for many years, beginning in the early 50s, and then he and his colleagues formed the American Society of Clinical Hypnosis. So I can't even tell you. I can't even guess. Now, he had big private practice, as I'm sure you know. Mostly in our house.
Was it difficult for the family to have so many visitors?
We loved it. We loved it. So many of Daddy's patients were really wonderful people. And believe it or not, Daddy's been dead for over 30 years. We're still friends with some of them. So it was lasting relationships. And it was good for them and good for us. Now, my poor mother, I'm sure that sometimes she was a bit distressed at people in our house at all hours of the day. But that's the way it was.
What can you wish to the people who see our conversation?
I wish them to learn and to learn about everything. I wish them joy, because I don't think most people know how to find joy. And if you have 3 green lights in a row in the morning, that's a good day. And I wish them to have a good life that they've earned.
Thank you very much. It was an interview for All Russian Festival of NLP. We want to thank the Institute of Family and Group Psychotherapy and Psychology, IGISP. Goodbye.